Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. My name is Ivy and I am a location independent entrepreneur or a digital nomad. My main business is running a virtual program for teens called Beta Camp, where kids get to learn business, tech, and entrepreneurship through the means of building a startup. And along the way, they learn creativity, problem solving, decision making, and uncertainty, and all these amazing soft skills that really prepare them for the jobs of tomorrow, some jobs that might not exist today. And of course, they do this through actually building their own startups from the ground up. We're not a hackathon, we're not a business plan. We actually expect them to build a real business that has real customers and revenue by the end of the program. Now, I'm sharing all this with you because I know that a lot of adults are thinking, how do I build a business online? What can I even do? And that's why today I'm here to share with you all the businesses that these 13 to 17-year-olds have built fully virtually with peers across the world. And I'm sure if they can do it, then you can too. If you're interested in learning more about how to become a location independent entrepreneur, what it's like being a digital nomad, please hit subscribe down below. What really inspired this video is that I think digital nomads have a slightly bad reputation, at least on YouTube and possibly on Instagram and some blogs. I think that people often, when they first come across the term, feel like, oh, how do you travel without a job? We're definitely working and we definitely have a job, even if it's one that we give ourselves, so we're an entrepreneur. But I just see a lot of comments and I just want to debunk some of these myths that all the digital nomads out there are digital nomads because they make money online by teaching others how to make money online or something kind of scammy like that. There are so many different ways to be location independent. So one way is you can remain an employee and just work remotely. A lot of huge companies like Facebook, Twitter, Shopify, they are all allowing most of their employees to stay forever remote after the pandemic. This means that engineers, business operations, product managers, customer support, sales, marketing, every single role that you can think of at their company probably has the opportunity to go and live wherever they want and travel whenever they want, becoming a digital nomad while still working for a real corporate job. Then there are people that are freelancers. These are the people that might be an engineer or a marketer or a social media manager, etc., and they just offer their skills and find clients themselves. And then there are the entrepreneurs that their businesses are just virtual primarily, and they just happen to be able to do whatever they want and be digital nomads. So I consider myself in that final category where Beta Camp is a virtual program for teens. And we could have an offline location, but I actually think online education is the future. There's also a lot of advantages in just being a remote-based company. That's why Facebook, Shopify, etc., these companies are remote forever. It's because they have access to a greater applicant pool that might live elsewhere, reduced expenses for not having office space, and potentially even increase productivity, as the research has shown. Now during COVID, it's more disaster prone if there's another pandemic. But that's not what I'm here to talk about. What I'm going to talk about today are the virtual online businesses that teens have built. We've run 3 cohorts at Beta Camp, and we've helped over 30 companies run by teens launch off the ground. All of them have really, really valid problem statements. All of them had beta customers. A lot of them did already have paid customers and made hundreds of dollars within the first month that they launched. Some do continue to run after Beta Camp, while others do give up. And the reason that students do give up isn't necessarily because this business idea is not good. They are full-time students. We don't expect them to drop out of school, and many times they just don't have the time to keep running it. Sometimes they don't have the accountability and self-discipline to continue building the business without someone else setting the deadlines. And other times they just aren't passionate about the idea because Beta Camp is a cohort-based course. It has tight deadlines, and we just want them to go through the motions of building a startup so that they know what to do for next time. And so if they weren't passionate about the idea that they picked within the first week or two, they just kind of had to run with it. And maybe that's not worth their time, but that doesn't mean that these ideas are not valid. And everyone builds businesses for different reasons. You can build an online business just because you want to be location independent. It's not wrong. I think that if you just go and test out some ideas, turns out building a business online is easier than you would ever think that it is. The first business that I want to talk about is a marketplace for a specific niche of people to find therapists meant for them. And why I say a specific niche of people is that there's a lot of therapists out there, either on the internet or locally, and sometimes it gets very overwhelming for people who are looking for a specific therapist to find one that's best for them. So we had a team at Beta Camp build out a marketplace that's specific for teens to find mental health resources. And because it's so teen specific and so niche down, any therapist that really cater towards teens would happily pay to be listed on this marketplace in order to attract the perfect clients. This group of students who built this out also found a way to offer free group therapy for high school students to try out what therapy is like before committing to an actual therapist. They did this by utilizing PhD students that needed certain hours and worked for a real therapist. By the end, this team had multiple therapists signed up. They ran several group testing sessions of group therapy and had a lot of really happy customers. Now, this idea can be built for the teen market, or it can also be built for other niches like post-pregnancy, like a new job, for career mental health. It could be for divorcees, it can be for new parents, it can be for the elderly. Moving on to idea number 2, a call line for elderly to ask for tech help. A team built this mostly focusing on creating lessons on how to use Zoom, how to set up a bank account, potentially how to video call using FaceTime or WeChat, etc. for the elderly. They ran this fully remotely and charged $15, $20 per session, but I see this as a business idea that can get way bigger because let's face it, as adults, I have actually sat around being like, I would rather pay someone to spend hours teaching my grandma how to send a photo through WeChat than sit there by myself. And I think most adult children have been through this kind of experience and are willing to pay for such service. And how this might expand later on after COVID is that you can have certain call centers in local areas and actually dispatch employees to go help the elderly in person. And this can be either through nursing homes or direct to homes. And you can just hire a group of high school students who are able to run this thing and franchise this out. Let me know below whether you would use either of these two services, whether you have once looked for a therapist and felt overly overwhelmed that you didn't know which one was right for you. There were too many options and you didn't even try therapy. And whether you would pay for someone else to teach your parents or grandparents the tech know-how that they rely on you for. Moving on to idea number 3, a subscription box to help people discover the world. Months of lockdown has really let us yearn for travel. Travel as we know it is significantly going to change. It may become largely unaffordable after the pandemic. Consumers will look for different ways to travel and other ways to spend their disposable income. We had a team at Beta Camp create a snack box that bought local goods from ethnic shops in local communities, and every month they would ship a box of a certain culture to different homes. So they started with India, and inside were a bunch of India snacks and a PDF explaining what these snacks were, as well as the history of India. Remember, it's not just about the ethnic food, it's also about the experience. Like, imagine taking your SO on a Korean date night full of Korean food that's delivered to you within a box with a Korean movie, with some small souvenirs, as well as a playlist for later of K-pop. You can also go really, really niche with this, even if other people have travel boxes. You can go specifically curating cafes like coffees or wineries, baked goods, etc. for people that are very, very niche travelers that want to experience something specific. Idea number 4, a kidpreneur box. Now, this is kind of similar to the travel box, and this idea wasn't actually built out at Beta Camp, but it was part of a team's ideation process. Now, the concept here is that parents care more and more about their child's entrepreneurial endeavors. They care more about entrepreneurial-minded skills, such as creativity, innovation, problem solving, etc. And what better way to get it than real-world experiences? So in order for a kid to launch a business right now, imagine launching a lemonade stand today. You would need banners, you would actually need to buy lemonade or water, lemons, sugar, etc. A little stand, maybe a tablecloth. There are a lot of different subsets in order for this lemonade stand to work. And that would require the parent going out and buying all these ingredients in different places. So a Kidpreneur box would be a business that you can create right out of the box, and it would include all the different ingredients as well as materials required to launch that business. Not only can they launch lemonade, you can think of slime-based businesses, all the materials to make slime or lip gloss or bracelets, etc. for kids to sell, and this would be geared towards kids 8 to 11. Some expansions of this could include certain booklets and worksheets, as well as network connections to help you grow, or simulations online. And I just think this is such a fabulous idea that I wish I had when I was growing up as a kid. Finally, idea number 5, make anything eco-friendly. If Gen Zs care about one thing, it is sustainability. Now, I know in the world right now, there's already a lot of talk about eco-friendly and sustainability, but really Gen Zs don't have that much buying power right now. So we really haven't seen this trend truly take hold in the retail world. But as Gen Zs age up, the oldest Gen Z is 26 already, and even young millennials these days like myself, we do care a lot, but there's not a lot of options out there. And so we go with what's convenient. But if you go into a grocery store and look at all the plastic in the store on like yogurt cans or ketchup or meat packing, etc., there's so many ways that each product can be innovated and made new just by being plastic free. And you can just go and pick nail polish or like makeup pads and make it more sustainable, and that can be a fabulous business idea. We have a team at Betacamp building an eco-friendly marketplace for Gen Z fashion, specifically for teens 14 to 18 or maybe up to 22, buy clothes that are fashionable but only from brands that are eco-friendly. And a marketplace is obviously something that you can build online, but really so is sourcing for more sustainable packaging and goods as well. And so I hope that this is something that more and more people take on, because there are so many opportunities in this space. I hope that gives you some inspiration on what is possible for you to build as an online business. You can be free from a 9 to 5. Now, if you're looking for other business ideas, I also run the Get World Savvy podcast, and my co-host and I created a PDF of 30 business ideas for the global founder. Some of these ideas were inspired directly by Betacamp startups, but still 30 business ideas. If you want that freebie, go to the link down below. And make sure you tune into my podcast as well, because we talk about global ideas inspired by different countries and entrepreneurs in different markets. In the next weeks, I'm going to be putting out a video on how to find the best business ideas. So if you're looking for a guide to find a problem or build a business that you are truly passionate about, make sure you hit the subscribe button and turn on the notification bell, because I'm really, really excited to make that video. This is what has helped me as well as the teams at Betacamp come up with ideas really, really fast and validate them as well. See you guys next week.